The C chord should be one of the first chords you learn on guitar. However, it can be a little bit of a stretch if you're a beginner guitar player. Today I'm going to show you 4 very useful ways to play the C chord and give you some tips on how to position your fingers to make things just a little bit easier for you. Coming up right now. First things first, let's just make sure we're in tune. Here's my top E string, 5th string A, 4th string D, 3rd string G, 2nd string B, and the bottom E string. So the first way we're going to learn to play the C chord is just your standard open position. Looks and sounds like that right there. You start on your 5th string, you got your 3rd fret. Then your 4th string, you got your 2nd fret. 3rd string G is open. 2nd string, there's your C note on the 1st fret. And then your bottom string is open. Sounds like that right there. Now this can be a little bit of a stretch if you're a beginner guitar player. And the key to it is your fingers have to stay bent. You can't play like that. You have to make sure your fingers are bent. So I'd like to show you a demonstration of how to bend your fingers and make sure you're in the right position. So look at this pencil right here and how I'm holding it. I'm not holding it like this. What I'm doing is holding it just with my fingertips and my thumb. So I want to hold that pencil just like that. So if I hold the pencil in that way, my fingers have to be bent enough to hold the pencil. And I'm just holding the pencil lightly. I'm not holding it real tight. So if I hold the pencil like this right here, and then I put the pencil down, now if I take that same position and apply that to the guitar, then my fingers are bent just in the right way to play that C chord to where I'm not hearing any bad notes. And what you want to do is you want to always play one note at a time just to make sure you can hear each note smooth. And then the way you want to strum this chord, you're playing from the 5th string down, because that's your C note right there. And I'm kind of muting this top string a little bit with this finger. And what you want to do is practice it with other chords. So here's your C. If you come to right here, now all of a sudden you've got your G chord and you didn't have to move very far at all. So this C to this G, and then back to that C. That's really good practice for you to go back and forth from this chord to this chord. So the second way we're going to talk about the C chord is one of my favorite ways. It's a C Add9 chord. Actually, it's not a perfect C major, but what you want to do is play with these fingers right here. So you got your middle finger on your C. You got your index finger there on the 2nd fret on the E note. And you've got your G note open again. But now you're playing your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret, playing that D note right there. So, and then your bottom string is open. So it sounds like that. Once again, you got to have the stretch so you're not hearing all this. Got to make sure your fingers are bent like we talked about. But that's just a really pretty chord right there. So there's your C Add9 chord. And once again, you can take this and you can come to this G really easily. Or you could walk down to this A minor. You could do a walk down like this. Get your C Add9. This is a G over B. And then this is A minor. So this third way we're going to learn to play the C chord is again with the C Add9. It's going to be a little bit of a different variation. Looks and sounds like this. So I love this C Add9 chord. So here's what we just learned for the second one. All we're going to do is add our pinky to that bottom string 3rd fret. So now we've got this sound. They're both C add 9 because the C is made up of a C, the E, and the G. So anywhere on the guitar where you put a C, E, and G in there, you're going to have a C major chord. So back again to this C add 9, we're adding the bottom G right there. So this D note is what makes it an add 9 chord. There's the second one we learned, and there's the third one we learned. So once again, this C add 9, move these 2 fingers to right here, and you got a G chord perfectly. So this C add 9 to this G chord to this E minor, and then back to C. Be sure and stick around to the end of the video, and I'm going to put up a link that talks about the G chord and 5 different ways to play the G chord and how it relates to this G, E minor, C add 9, and then we're going to throw in the D chord as well. Alright, so the 4th way we're going to learn is with the C bar chord. This position right here. So this is just your standard C bar chord from your 5th string, starting with your 5th string right here. And you're going to bar all of the strings on the 3rd fret, although I recommend we don't play the bottom string. So it's going to be 3rd fret, 5th string. So your 3rd finger is going to bar the next 3 strings. This one, and this one. So just a basic C chord. And again, I'm kind of muting the top string. I'm not playing the bottom string. And you can play with just the 2 strings right here. Get kind of a rock feel going. And as an added bonus, let's also talk about a C chord that's in this bar chord position. But what we're going to do now, we are going to play the bottom string, and it's going to be a C sus2, which is a beautiful chord right here. And all we're doing now is we're taking these 2, which is your 4th string and 3rd string, and we're playing those 2 notes, and we're still barring everything with our index finger on the 3rd fret. This is a beautiful chord, C sus2. And why this is so cool to learn, once again, it's not the easiest chord to play, but once you get it down with some practice, this chord is awesome because now you can move it down to here, and now you've got a B chord, B sus2. You got an A sus2. D sus2. And it's just a great movable bar chord. Same as this one. This is a movable bar chord. There's your D chord right there. There's your E chord right there. There's your B chord right there. So learning this bar chord position is really going to help you when it comes to playing other chords on the guitar. If you've learned anything here today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to learn 5 easy ways to play the G chord and how it relates to the C chord and more, then click the video on your screen or the one I'll link below. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.